This is where you should be able to leverage the brand. Do you know, like that? We shouldn't be overpaying for players. We've done that in the past because we can't compete on a football level. Yeah, and players know this, innit? Like I said, there's better projects out there. Right? We could never compete on a football level. Right? So we've always used the line of hit, we'll give you the most money in it. We've been paying people to play for us. Rashford is everything that's wrong with Manchester United. We're paying this guy 300k per week. Yeah. In my opinion, he's not a 300k per week player. But I would say, like, commercially, obviously, especially during COVID, right? His commercial appeal would probably justify this 300k per week and the money that commercially he brings into the club. Do you know, like that? But from a football perspective, he ain't worth 300k per week. He's just not. But it's just a perspective, it's just the optics. Because for you to be on 300k per week and you're not performing, 300k per week, you're not performing, and someone like Ahmad is on 29k per week, that would sting. That would really burn. Yeah. And this doesn't just apply to football. You can think about any workplace. Yeah. Even when you think about managers delegate most of their tasks. If they're on 100 bags a week and you're doing most of the work, but you're only getting paid 40k per week, yeah, you're going to feel a type of way. Do you know, like that? You'd feel a type of way. Right? Even with, who else have we got in here? We got Mainu. Mainu's on 20k per week, right? I would say Mainu he's not better than Cass. Let's leave it out. Ericsson's on 150. Yeah, let's leave that out. Listen, Mainu's on 20k per week, right? Arguably, you could say that he was more critical to the team last season than Rashford. Do you know, like that? Rashford's on 300k per week, bro. Do you understand? Hoyland's on 85k per week. Nah, you can't have that. Yeah, you can't have that. Yeah. Garnacho is on 50k per week. Amad Diallo is on 29k per week. You can't have that. You can't have it. Yeah, so the wage structure at the club is just ridiculous. Yeah. But let's say, for instance, you're paying Rashford 100k per week. No one's going to be mad at that. So key challenges, performance improvement. As we've said, squad development needs, competition success, the integration of youth, and football structure enhancement. You've got financial sustainability, like I said, high fixed costs, operating losses. You've got the debt service requirements, and you have, inadequate working capital management as well. Commercial development, this is a challenge. Navigating digital transformation successfully. You got fan engagement, you've got the global market expansion, and partnership optimization. In terms of future outlook, there's 5 strategic priorities that I've identified: the football performance improvement, financial sustainability, infrastructure development, commercial growth, and digital transformation. It's just, prioritizing these key challenges, like that. And then the critical success factors to that is, number 1, the wage structure reform, the performance culture development, you've got the commercial partnership growth, operational efficiency, and strategic investment management as well. I'm only going to focus on the wage structure reform, right? Because that's the big one, to be fair. So if we look at the Premier League, these are the big 8 clubs in the Premier League, or at least the clubs that finished in the top 8 in the last season, 23-24. Right, so you got Manchester City, Man United, you got Arsenal, Chelsea, Liverpool, Aston Villa, you got Tottenham, and you've got Newcastle. This information is taken from Capology. Not all the information is accurate or verified. Tottenham, Newcastle, and Aston Villa, their wages, right, from Capology, just based on Capology, less than 50% of the wages were verified. And this is base salary, by the way, for all clubs, base salary. So that's just take that into consideration. Right? So again, this just provides a rough estimate. It's not accurate to the penny or anything like that, but it provides a ballpark to work off. Take it with a pinch of salt. So I've calculated the average salary per week and I've calculated the median salary per week. Now, using the median would give us a better representation of the typical player salary at each club, as it removes the skewing effect of extremely high earners. So, like, let's say, for instance, Manchester United, it would exclude the skewing from Rashford or Casemiro's wages, yeah, in excess of 300k per week. Do you know, like that? So yeah, that would bring it down to that brings it down to 120k per week. Yeah, the average was 128 per week, and that's being boosted by their wages. Do you know, like that? So Manchester City, 202 million per year. Yeah, they pay the most in wages, right? However, they win things. Yeah, they win things. They've been dominating the Premier League and they've been performing in the Champions League. Right? Average salary was 162 k per week. Right, so on average, they pay the most per week as well. Median, again, they pay the most per week as well. Right. Man United finished 8th last season, yet we spend 186 million per season, per year on wages, right? We're third in terms of average salary per week behind Arsenal, yeah, and median salary per week. But in terms of total salary, we pay 186 million. We're second. We're paying the second highest wages in the league. We're not finishing in the top three. We're not even finishing in the top four on a consistent basis. Last season we finished 8th. Yeah, we finished third in the season before that, which I believe was a fluke, to be fair, and we finished 6th the season before that. So our position is really 7th. Yeah, 7th to be fair. We're paying 186 million, second highest salaries in the league, but we're not getting top 3 performance. Yeah, we're not getting top 3 performance. Do you know, like that? We're not even getting top 4 performance for those wages. Wage structure reform. What I'm saying is, or what I'm suggesting, if it was me in charge of Manchester United, I would do a base salary of 100k per week. Right? Now, this base salary of 100k per week, it's an average of the median of the top 8 clubs. Do you understand? Or players of the top 8 clubs in the Premier League, right? So let me explain. Let me explain this for you. So just going back a slide, right? So the median salary, right, was 90k, right? And this is based on taking all players, excluding United, as one data set, right? So it finds the middle value. The median finds the middle value, which was 90k. And what this does is it basically treats each player equally, regardless of club. Yeah. So it's normally more influenced by clubs with larger squads. Yeah, they have a larger influence, right? Now, the second method is to take the average of the club medians, which we've got here, right? Now, this calculates each club's median separately, which I've done, and it takes the average of these medians, which was 106k. Yeah, so it treats each club equally, and it's less influenced by squad size differences, right? So the 16k difference between the 90k and the 106k shows that the larger squads at lower wage levels are pulling down the overall median. Some clubs have more players on lower wages, affecting the overall pool. And taking club medians first gives more weight to higher paying clubs. So it gives more weight to like your Manchester City or Manchester United. Okay, so if we use the overall pool median, right, which was 90k, that's more representative of the typical Premier League player, right? The wage of the typical, or the base salary of the typical Premier League player. But the 106k reflects the typical club wage structure, right? So I said You know what? Between 90K and 106K, just do 100K. Yeah, 100 bags, right? And that's what I'm saying. Base salary, 100K per week, right? This is what I think we should be paying each of our players. Okay. So if you just look at Manchester United squad, yeah. So I've got here, as I said, I've split it out between like summary, consolidated. That's all players from the top 8 clubs. Tottenham split out, Newcastle, Manchester United. See with the most information: Villa, Liverpool, City, Chelsea, Arsenal. So if you look at Manchester United's squad, yeah, again, this is from Capology. We have the second highest wage bill. Yeah, there's a significant gap between the highest earners and the lowest earners. So obviously here you've got like Toby Collier on 5K, Daniel Go on 5K. You know, you've got say you got Amad Diallo on 29K, Marcus Rashford up on 300K. Yeah, I'll get onto that in a minute. Yeah, I'll get onto that in a minute. Yeah, but there's a large proportion of high earning players for Manchester United, right? There's a large proportion of high earning players for Manchester United. Okay, but again, we're eighth in the league despite having the second highest wage bill, right? Which means that we're paying premium wages compared to better performing teams. Yeah, and this represents poor value for money in wage spending. 100K base salary per week for each player. That's my um, suggestion, or that's how I would do things if I was in charge of Manchester United, or what my proposal would be. Right, 100K per week per player. That's 5.2 million per player per annum. That's what they would get as a basic wage. Right, so the total squad base wage bill would be 2.5 million per week. Right. Now, for 25 players, because you can only register 25 players in the Premier League, that'll be 130 million per year. Okay. And that's a potential saving of 56 million per year, because currently we're paying 186 million per year. Yeah, 185.6 million per year. Right. And then on top of that, you add the win bonus. Right. So, win bonus would be 100K per player per win, right? So roughly there's around 63 potential matches in a season. Yeah, you got 30 in the Premier League, you've got up to 13 in the Champions League, you got up to 6 in the FA Cup, and you've got up to 6 in the League Cup as well, right? So that's how I would structure things. Okay. So potentially, let's say for instance you won all 63 games. Yeah. Match squads 20. Yeah, you're allowed 20 players in the Premier League, right? And the domestic competitions. Win bonus of 100K. Total win bonus would be 126 million. So if you do the 126 million plus the base salary of 130 million, you're spending 256 million in total on salaries. Okay. Now, if we used the 23-24 season as an example, we won 26 games. Okay. We won 26 games with a match squad of 20, that's and 100K win bonus per win. Yeah. Per player. You're looking at 52 million in total for bonuses. Add that to the base salary of 130 million, you got 182 million per year that you're spending on salaries. Yeah, which is less than the 256 million, right? Similar to actually the 185 million, the 185.6 million that we would spend. Yeah, so it's still kind of in line, right? On the 22-23 season, so the season before, we won 42 games with a squad size of 20, win bonus of 100K. So 100K per win per player. You're looking at a bonus of 840 million total bonus, right? Add that to the base salary of 130 million. You're spending 240 million in total on wages, right, for the first team. Now, obviously, that's a lot higher than the previous season, and it's also a lot higher than the current base salary. But you're including the win bonus in that, right? Now, just to give you a player example, let's say for instance the player, obviously base salary of 100k per week, 5.2 million per year, win bonus of 4.2 million based on 42 wins. The player's taking home 9.8 million per year, right? Which is roughly 180.8k per week. Yeah. 180.8k per week. To me, that's fair. Yeah. There's nothing, I think that's reasonable. Do you understand? Pay the base salary and then pay a win bonus on top. 180.8k per week per player. Sorry, not per player, but that would be the example. Yeah, if they were a part of the squad that won 42 games. So what I believe to be the major strengths of this is one, financial sustainability, performance alignment, squad management, and the cultural impact. So for financial sustainability, obviously you've got the fixed costs being reduced significantly. You have performance-linked variable costs. You've got better alignment with club revenues, yeah, and you've got natural cost control in poor seasons. Right? In terms of performance alignment, there's a clear link between success and earnings. You have team-focused incentives. There's reward for genuine contribution, okay, and you're basically implementing a meritocratic system, yeah, which means that you're being rewarded based on merit. Yeah, you're being rewarded based on merit. Yeah, meritocratic. Do you understand? Okay. In terms of squad management, it encourages high training standards. Okay, because everyone would want to play or should want to play. Yeah. There's a clear pathway for young players. Right. It rewards squad players who contribute. Yeah, and it maintains competitiveness. As I said, like everyone would want to be playing or would at least want to be a part of the match day squad, right? And in terms of cultural impact, it promotes a winning mentality. It encourages a team first approach, especially with the win bonus, right? There's clear performance expectations, and it promotes professional standards. Do you know like that? So those are what I believe to be the major strengths of this system, right? Potential challenges, okay, there's implementation, market position, and financial planning. So in terms of implementation, you might receive resistance from current high earners, such as your Rashford, your Casemiro, right? The agent might oppose, okay, because the agent obviously wants to do what's in the best interest of the player, right? Obviously, decreasing your base salary means that you can't just you have to perform. Yeah, you have to perform to get paid. Do you understand? You can't coast. Competition from other clubs as well, and the management of the transition period. So moving across to this structure as well. Right? In terms of market position, it could affect recruitment of top players. Yeah, they may need a higher signing bonus. Right now, the signing bonus, yeah, that's to the discretion of the sporting director, right? Or the recruitment professional in charge. Okay. Yeah, the signing bonus. But in terms of base salary, right? In terms of base salary and, you know, monthly contract situation, right? I think they should all be equal level. Yeah. The 100k per 100k wage per week, right? Then you got the Premier League wage expectations. Although we saw that from the G8 clubs, at least the top 8 clubs, the average wage, the average salary was 90k. So the median salary was 90k. Yeah. So you're paying above the median wage for the top 8 clubs anyway. You know like that. It's only Manchester City and Arsenal that pay like 140k plus. Do you know like that? Yeah, in terms of median wage. Okay. And then you've got the international competitiveness. Although I believe like in terms of international competitiveness, if a player wants to go to Real Madrid, it might not just be because of wages, it could be because of other factors like cultural factors. Like a lot of the South Americans want to play in Spain. Yeah. They just want to play there. And that's not simply due to work permit reasons, but the culture there in Spain is similar, and the weather as well is similar or not too dissimilar from their home, their home nation, or the country they're currently playing in. Like that. Then you got financial planning. So you would have to do cash flow management, adequate cash flow management for the bonuses. You have to make provisions for the performance-based bonuses. You have to obviously take into consideration the seasonal fluctuations and FFP as well. However, with the team that we've got in terms of, the CFO, Roger Bell and John Reese, they should be able to sort this out. They should be able to plan this effectively. Like that? And, we implement a lot more challenging and difficult processes and strategies, such as the hedging strategies for interest rate risks, and foreign currency exchange risks. So it shouldn't be an issue, to be fair. Now, another thing with this 100k base salary, so the immediate impact for Manchester United would be, right, we've got, let's say, 11 players with 1 year left. So they will need to decide quickly. Do you understand? And high earners like Cass, Fernandez, Rashford, even though they would face a significant base salary reduction, you can add an appearance fee in there, to make up the differential. I'll explain this, okay, as a transition period. So it could lead to a significant squad turnover, but we need one anyway. Half the team needs to go. Like that. It's just simple as. So from that perspective, because we are doing this rebuild, this is a perfect opportunity to implement this, right? And the financial implications, right? You have potential transfer income from player sales, okay? Obviously, you reduce the fixed wage commitments. You've got a more predictable base cost in the 100k per week, and obviously you've got the performance-linked additional costs, okay? But again, they're additional costs, but they're on merit, right? In terms of your transfer market position, right? You set with this structure, okay, you're basically setting a clear negotiation position with new signings, okay. I believe you should implement a no exceptions policy and thus make negotiations simpler. So for any new signing, you just say, look, this is it, innit? 100k base, 100k win bonus, that's it, take it or leave it, innit? That's it, right? And what it would do, it would attract players who back their ability to perform. So you wouldn't have players who are just here to be mercenaries and grab the money. And even if they are mercenaries, at least they're backing their ability to perform. Like I said, on average, it would be, at least based on the last season, it would have been 180k per week, right? 180k per week on average. So that's a lot more than 100k base, right? So even though it might deter some top targets, it's only really established players over, I'll say 25. They'll either be over 25 and in their prime, playing for a top club, or they'll be young and playing for a top club. So like your PSGs, your Barcelonas, your Real Madrids, they'll probably be on over 100k per week. So it might deter some top targets, but if you're looking at the type of player that we're going for, most of the players that we've gone for, especially under Ineos, have been under 25 years old, innit? And they were on roughly around 100k per week. They wouldn't be on more than 150k per week. We're not doing the massive wages anymore. Do you know, like that? The thing with this, though, is to maintain this, you will need robust succession planning. And this is where the structure of the club comes in. The recruitment, this is goes for the recruitment team, the sporting director. You need consistency in there. So when the manager changes, it shouldn't affect the club. It shouldn't affect the squad. Do you understand? So this is really an opportunity to reshape the squad culture as well. It could also accelerate youth integration, and it's just a more sustainable long-term model, in my opinion. So this would be my proposal. That would just be it. So what I'm recommending, is that we implement this at the start of, we ask players to renew their contracts, right? at the end of the season. So they've got 6 months to really think about it and decide what they want to do. You know, like that, right? And I think it's a good time because obviously we just got Ruben Amorim in, yeah. So Ruben Amorim's in. Ineos have been here at least 1 year now. So, if they're going to do this, they're going to do it now, right? They've got to do it before the end of the current season, or at least not let it drag on into next season. So, for future contract negotiations, I know we're negotiating for a contract with, I believe, Kobe Mainu and Ahmad, Ahmad as well. So, yeah, I would do this now. Yeah, I'll do it now, to be fair. Another thing is, if players didn't want to sign this new contract, you tell them to get out. Do you understand? It's as simple as that. This new salary structure or this wage structure should be strict. So it applies to new signings. And if existing players do not want to sign, you kick them out, innit? You put them up for sale. Simple as, right? You don't break structure. And I think Liverpool employed a similar thing. Yeah. Now, some would say, that in terms of competition from other clubs, we're in the best position to be able to implement something like this, because this is where you can actually say, we're Manchester United. Like that. Yeah. We're Manchester United. Okay. Because of the commercial potential, right? And because of the brand. Like that. So even though you're getting 100K base, you're not earning so much. The extra that you get around that in terms of the publicity, do you understand? The social media following, like as soon as you become a Manchester United player, do you understand? Your social media following grows exponentially. Yeah. So the looks or the endorsement deals, the opportunities that you're afforded just by being a Manchester United player compensates. Yeah. It compensates, or it makes up the difference. Do you know, like that? And this is, like I said, this is where you can say, this is where you should be able to leverage the brand. Do you know, like that? We shouldn't be overpaying for players. We've done that in the past because we can't compete on a football level. Yeah, and players know this, innit? Like I said, there's better projects out there. Right? We could never compete on a football level. Right? So we've always used the line of, "Here, we'll give you the most money in it." We've been paying people to play for us. So again, like I was saying, with these transitions, so transitioning players to this new contract, this new structure, you could implement an appearance fee, right? So what the appearance fee does, now I hate appearance fees. Yeah, I hate appearance fees. But what the appearance fee does, it basically is the differential between the existing contract, right? Or the current salary, yeah, and the proposed new salary, right? So I'll give you an example. Right? Going back to the example of Luke Shaw. So he currently gets paid 7.8 million base. He gets 150 per week. With the appearance fee, right? What you're basically saying is you're paying him 100K per week, right? Now he's coming on 150K per week. So over a season, that's 2.6 million, yeah, difference, right? Now, if there's 63 games in a season, you basically give him an appearance fee per game, which is equivalent to that differential. So for Luke Shaw, that would be 41.3K. Yeah, that gives you your 2.6 million. And that makes up his his current contract. Okay, now I believe Luke Shaw has 3 years left remaining on his contract. Yeah, at least at the start of the 24-25 season, he had 3 years left. So if this is like a last resort, well, it's not a last resort, but it's a compromise if they don't want to sign this 100K base salary and the 100K win bonus. Okay, you give them the appearance fee, right? So as I was saying, 100K per week base salary, that's 5.2 million per year. Appearance money, maximum 63 games, 41.3K. Yeah, that's 2.6 million a year. 5.2 and 2.6 equals 7.8 million, right? So let's just go off the last season, 23-24 season. Luke Shaw, he would have been paid the base salary of 5.2 million a year. He only made 3 appearances last year. Yeah, so 3 appearances at 41.3k is your 124k, right? Win bonus, let's assume, for instance, hypothetically, that he was a part of the squad, the winning squad on those 3 occasions, right? In the 3 appearances he made, right? You do 3 times 100k, that's 300k. So in total, you're paying him 5.6 million. That's less than the 7.8 million that he would have got off base, off rip. Do you know, like that? And I don't think he could complain about that. I don't think the fans would complain about that. Do you know what I'm saying? I think that's fair. Yeah, looking at Maguire, for example, I got a few examples. Maguire, he currently gets paid 190k per week, right? That's 9.9 million a year, right? But under this new structure, let's say you give him a base salary of 100k per week, 5.2 million per year. Appearance money, again, this is the differential between his existing contract and the proposed new contract. Now, Maguire has 1 year left on his contract. So really, his contract's up for renewal this season. Now, I would have said we should be selling Maguire, right? I would have said we need to sell Maguire. But because we're playing in a free, he's good. Yeah. Because we're playing in a free, I would keep him, but I would drop his wages. Yeah, I would say to him, look, if you don't accept this salary of 100k per week and 100k per win, then you gotta go. Yeah, you gotta leave, right? And really, we need to be negotiating this now, to be fair, or else we risk losing him on a free. But then that's 190k off his wages. His current market value is roughly 12 million, I believe, of course, according to Transfermarkt. His contract value is currently 9.9 million. So, we would be taking a 12 million pound hit, to be fair, yeah, or a 3 million pound hit, if you net it off. Okay, not a 12 million pound hit. We'll be taking a 12 million pound hit because that's salary that's a transfer fee that you don't get back. You could probably sell him for like 20 million actually. Yeah, given the season that he's had as well, you could probably fetch 25 million for him. Add on the English tax actually. For 31-year-old, how old is he? Maguire's 31. He'll probably go for 30 million, 35 million. I don't think anyone's paying him 190k per week. And this is the thing, yeah. When you're setting a salary of 100k per week, a base salary of 100k per week, it makes them easier to sell, yeah. And you potentially won't have to subsidize their wages for any significant period of time. You'll make a contribution because the buying club should be able to afford it. But anyway, back to this. Let's say you gave him the 5.2 million base salary, right? You got the appearance fee, the appearance money, and potentially of 4.7 million. That's 74.3k per week times the maximum 63 games. So potentially 4.7 million. That brings him up to his current contract of 9.9 million, right? In the 23-24 season, so last season, you would have had the base of 5.2. He made 31 appearances last season. So that's 74.3k times 31, which is 2.3 million. Let's say he was a part of the winning squad on those 26 wins. That's 26 at 100k per win, 2.6 million. Again, you would have paid him 10.1 million for that season. So you can see that with this wage structure, yeah, you have the potential to actually earn more. yeah, you have the potential to actually earn more than your current base salary, right? So I think it works. In terms of Cass, now Cass is an interesting one because I love Cass. I have to say I love Cass. Like I had him on my FM saves. I'll buy him before he even went to Real Madrid. Like I've known about Cass for a long time. Do you know like that? And yes, he's on 350k a week. However, out of all our squad, he's probably the one who justifies that type of salary or above 300k. Yeah, just because of his experience. Like the man is a Champions League winner. He's won multiple Champions League titles, multiple La Liga titles as well. Do you understand? So you got to show man his respect in it. Yeah, 350k for Cass. Yeah, in my opinion, you need experienced professionals. You need winners. Yeah, I wouldn't have sold Varane either. Do you know like that? I wouldn't have sold Varane, and Varane's actually younger than Maguire. Yeah, although he's injury prone. I would keep Cass in the team. Yeah, I wouldn't. Cass has what? So I'm just looking at the player salaries. Cass has 2 years left on his contract. Right? So he's got another year left on his contract. I would keep him. But I would say, yeah, I would keep him, but I would say, look, I'll give you 100k per week. Yeah, let me run you through this. So currently, obviously, he's on 350k per week. Yeah, that works out to 18.2 million per year, right? So with a base salary of 100k per week under this new structure, that's 5.2 million per year. The appearance fee, the appearance money is based on the differential, right? So between his current salary and the proposed salary. Yeah, so over 63 games, potentially, there's 206k for him to make per game. That gives you 30 million. 5.2 at 13 gets you up to his current contract of 18.2 million, right? So based on last season, okay, let's say we paid him a base of 5.2. He made 32 appearances, 32 at 260k per appearance. That's 6.6 million. Let's hypothetically say that of the 26 wins that that Manchester United achieved, 100k per win, that's 2.6 million. You would have paid him a total of 14.4 million, yeah, instead of this base of 18.2 million. I don't think he would be mad at that. Do you know like that? Although these South Americans, they do like their money and that. But I don't think he would be mad at that. I don't think fans would argue with that. Do you know like that? Like Cass has been, I would say Cass is our best midfielder. Yeah. And he was our best midfielder last season. And since he's arrived, he's been our best midfielder, just period. Do you know like that? So yeah, you can't buy that experience, right? I don't think you can buy that experience. And I do think he can work in the system. Like I do not know why Amarim's not playing him or has been reluctant to play him. I don't know if he's fell out with the manager or if, there's rumors that he's asked to leave or, Ineos are looking to get his wages off the book. So Amarim's keeping him out of the team so that we don't have to depend or rely on him. That could be a potential reason. But I would keep him. I would keep him and just say, look, we're willing to give you 100k per week. For the remainder of your contract, we'll give you the differential in appearance fees. So yeah, if you play, you'll still make up your existing contract. Yeah. And if you win additionally, yeah, if you're part of the winning squad additionally, you'll even earn more potentially. Do you know like that? So that's just what I would do. Looking at Anthony, Anthony is on what 220k per week, I believe. 200 per week. Yeah, he's on 200 per week. That's 10.4 million a year. Right? Now let's say we pay him a base salary of 100k per week. Right? That's 5.2 million per year. To make the differential, yeah, that's 5.2 million a year. Over 63 games, that's 82.5k per appearance. Yeah, so 5.2 at 5.2 is 10.4, right? And that would equate to his existing contract. He's got 3 years left on his contract, right? Now, based on last season, he would have got the base of 5.2 million. Yeah. He made 38 appearances at 82.5k per appearance. That's 3.1 million. If he was, let's hypothetically say that he was a part of the winning squad on the 26 occasions that we won at 100k per win, that's 2.6 million. So you would have paid him 10.9 million in total. Yeah. He would have actually made more under this new structure than he currently makes. Do you know like that? But I don't think we would be angry. Yeah. I don't think we would be angry paying him a salary of 100k per week. Like, we've effectively 10x his wages. I think he was on like 20k per week at Ajax. Now he's on 200k per week. Whoever put him on this ridiculous contract, right? And you know, I think he's obviously there's pressure on him to perform. Yeah. Now, as a person, yeah, I think all of us would say like, look, I'm gonna try and get the most money that I can. Do you understand? Like it's just how it is. Do you understand? So I can't blame him for saying for taking the 200k per week contracts. What's he supposed to do? Say, no, I'll take 40k instead. That's ridiculous. That nobody would be doing that. Yeah. But obviously he hasn't performed. We don't feel like he's performed to the level of a 200k per week player, right? But yeah, under this structure, I think it's fair. Yeah. I think it's fair for him to be 100k, get 100k per week, plus a win bonus of 100k per win. Yeah, he would have made more money. Yeah, he would have made more money. He would have made 500k more, half a mil more. Yeah, looking at Mount. Mount's another example. Yeah, Mount is on 250 a week. Yeah, Mount's on 250 a week. He's hardly played. Yeah, I don't know why we signed the Mount. Do you understand? This is one of Ten Hag signings. I don't know why we've signed him. Yeah. But let's say, for instance, yeah, he's got 4 years left on his contract. Yeah, 4 years left. 4 years left on his contract. I would say we sell him. Him and Shaw need to go. Yeah. If I'm Ineos, right, I'm looking to sell him and Shaw. Right. I'll go through the full squad at the end. Okay. Let's say you give him a base salary of 100k per week. Right, that's 5.2 more per year. To make up the differential between his current contract and the proposed contract, over 63 games, you would pay him 124k per appearance to get the total differential of 7.8 million. Okay. And that would give him this 30 million per year, right? Now, based on the 23-24 season, so last season, he would have got his base of 5.2 million. The man made 12 appearances last year. 12 at 124k per appearance is 1.5 mil. Let's assume that he was a part of the winning squad on the 12 occasions that he was available. Yeah, that's 100k per win, 1.2 million. So in total, you're paying him 7.9 million. Yeah, that's almost just over half. Yeah, of what we would pay him anyway. Yeah, of his base, of his current contract of 13 million. Do you know like that? I don't think he could be mad at that. I don't think the fans could be mad at that. Do you know like that? So you're getting paid based on merit. You're getting paid based on performance as well, right? So that's what I would do. Now looking at Rashford, Rashford. Yeah, the man is on 300k per week, right? 300k per week, and he's got 4 years left on this damn contract. Yeah, obviously he's been put up for sale now. He'll probably go in the summer, so January, although it might extend to the summer. He might go out on loan in January. We'll see what happens. No one's paying him 300k per week. Like Barca have come out and say they're not willing to give this man 300k per week. The fact that Marcus Rashford summarizes everything that's been wrong with Manchester United over the past 10 years, yeah, or at least since Ed Woodward took over, yeah, because Ed Woodward was the money man. He was the CEO, and he's the commercial master. Yeah, this is where he's got his um he's got his stripes from. Yeah, the commercial side of Manchester United. Okay, you can't deny the man his flowers for what he's done commercially. Do you know, like that? But Rashford is everything that's wrong with Manchester United. We're paying this guy 300k per week. Yeah, in my opinion, he's not a 300k per week player. But I would say, like, commercially, obviously, especially during COVID, right? His his commercial appeal would probably justify this 300k per week and the money that commercially he brings into the club. Do you know, like that? But from a football perspective, he ain't worth 300k per week. It's nah, he's just not. Yeah, and you'll see this like clubs. Man United will struggle to sell Rashford because of these wages, unless we're like subsidizing it, and even then, you know, you'd probably only want to subsidize no more than half his wages. Yeah, for the remainder of his contract. 4 years. Was it Ed Woodward that done this? 4 years left on this guy's contract is ridiculous. It might not have been Woodward. It might have been Arnold. It could have potentially been Arnold. Anyway, but the person that's done this is sackable. Yeah, that's a sackable offense, to be fair. But just looking at Rashford, yeah, let's say hypothetically we give him 100k per week, 5.2 million per year, right? He gets paid 15.6 million per year right now, base, right? To make up the differential, you need to pay him 10.4 million. There's 63 games a season, so you split it. You spread that 10.4 million over the 63 games, which is 165k per appearance, right? So going off the last season, for example, right, he would have got the base of 5.2 million. He made 43 appearances last season, so 43 at 165k per appearance is 7.1 million. You have a win bonus of 26 of 100k. So we won 26 games last season. We won on 26 occasions. Let's assume he was part of the winning squad on those 26 occasions. He would have pocketed 2.6 million. So in total, you're paying him 14.9 million, right? That's not too far off the 15.6 million he's getting. Yeah, that's only what, a 700k difference. Yeah, but it's just a perspective. It's just the optics. Because for you to be on 300k per week and you're not performing, or sorry, 300k per week, you're not performing, and someone like Ahmad is on 29k per week, that would sting. That would really burn. Yeah, and this doesn't just apply to football. You can think about any workplace. Yeah, even when you think about managers delegate most of their tasks. If they're on 100 bags a week and you're doing most of the work, but you're only getting paid 40k per week, yeah, you're gonna feel a type of way. Do you know, like that? You'd feel a type of way, right? Even with who else have we got in here? We got Mainu. Mainu's on 20k per week, right? I would say Mainu is he's not better than Cass. Let's leave it out. Ericsson's on 150. Yeah, let's leave that out. Listen, Mainu's on 20k per week, right? Arguably, you could say that he was more critical to the team last season than Rashford. Do you know, like that? Rashford's on 300k per week, bro. Do you understand? Hoyland's on 85k per week. Nah, you can't have that. Yeah, you can't have that. Yeah. Garnacho is on 50k per week. Amad Diallo is on 29k per week. You can't have that. You can't have it. Yeah, so the way it's structured at the club is just ridiculous. Yeah. But let's say, for instance, you're paying Rashford 100k per week. No one's going to be mad at that, right? Plus the win bonus of 100k. That's 180k um, per week potentially. Yeah, and even then we play um on average, yeah. Even if we play 2 games a week, right? So in 1 week, potentially, you could pocket like 300 bags. Yeah, you could pocket 300 bags for the week. Do you know what I'm saying? So if you win both games. But yeah, he just epitomizes everything that's wrong with Manchester United on how the club's been run over the past decade. Like, and he's got the most experience, right? 300k per week. He's been at the club for over 8 years. Yeah, he's made 426 apps. Yeah, he's got the most appearances in the whole team. Do you understand? In the whole team. The next highest person is Victor Lindelof with 267. Yeah, then you got Fernandez on 257. So I can understand why Fernandez would have wanted 300k per week, for instance. Yeah, that's a good one. I can understand why Fernandez would ask for a wage rise when he sees a Mount on 250, he sees Rashford on 300, yet he's the one carrying the team. Yeah. Now, obviously, there's some arguments to say that Bruno's a detriment to the team, but he's been putting up the numbers, in it. Yeah, he's been the one putting up the numbers. He's been the one carrying Manchester United, right? 300k per week. And this is because of him. So he will break the structure, the salary structure. And I think it first happened with what's his name? Alexis Sanchez. Yeah, so I think he was getting 350k per week. We put him on 350k per week, but he potentially rose to 500k with bonuses. Yeah, but we got him on a free. Yeah, regardless of whether or not we get a player on a free transfer, yeah, their base salary should stay at 100k per week, or it shouldn't exceed like 250k per week just because we bought them on a free. If you're doing that, then pay them a signing on bonus. Yeah, pay them a signing on bonus, but don't pay them a base salary of 300 bags a week and they haven't won anything, they haven't done anything in football. Do you know, like that? As I said earlier, like Cass, he probably justifies his wage. He's got what, at least 4 Champions League medals, 4 Champions League trophies. He's got how many La Liga medals? Yeah. But Rashford, yeah, we haven't won anything. Yet we're paying this man 350k per week. Yeah, Europa League doesn't count for me. League Cup does not count for me. Yeah, I'm talking Premier League titles and European Cups. Yeah, Champions League Cups. But yeah, so in terms of contract issues, yeah, we've had a problem with contract negotiations. Yeah, so we've overvalued players at the time of them signing contracts. Yeah, because normally this is what they do. They'll play good for the season and then we'll put them on a ridiculous contract. Then they fall off. They fall off after. So literally, it's like the contract comes up for renewal. They play well for the 6 months up to the time that their contract's due, and then after they sign that contract, it's just downhill. Right? We've got long-term high wages which aren't linked to performance. We've got, again, poor timing of contract renewals. We normally let players run down their contract, which puts us in a weak negotiating position. And thus we end up giving out ridiculous contracts like we did with Bruno and Rashford. Yeah. So there's a performance risk. So you've got the high fixed costs regardless of performance, which leads to a limited ability to rectify poor value. Then you have financial commitment exceeding output and restricted squad flexibility. So I'm just going to show you what this looks like. So say, for instance, yeah, when we're looking at the current market value and the contract value, right? Because this is essentially what it's pointing to. When the contract value exceeds the current market value, it shows that there's a problem, right? So let's say, for instance, Marcus Rashford. So his contract value is 62,400,000, right? 62.4 million. Now this should be a proxy for your market value, right? His market value is 45 million. This might be even less now. Yeah, this was done at done about a week ago. Do you understand? This was before he done the interview, right? So 45 million. Yeah, which shows that he's not worth what we're paying him, right? Because essentially you want the club, you want a club to buy out his contract. Yeah, essentially. Yeah, we've got, who's this? Anthony, 31.2 million is his contract value. Yeah, for the rest of the 3 years. His current market value, 16.5 million. Yeah. It's not good, right? 16.5 million. Yeah. Who else have we got? We've got Mason Mount, 52 million contract value. His current market value, 26 million. Yeah, 26.4 million. Right? Who else have we got? We've got Cass, 36.4 million. Yeah. His current market value is 9.9 million. Do you understand? We paid 59 million for him in 2022. Yeah. Who else? We got the Lit, although that's new, that's this season. I'm excluding people that were purchased this season. Yeah, in instances where the market value exceeds the contract value, it represents good value for money. Yeah, it signals good value for money, right? It shows that we're underpaying them for their value, essentially. Do you know like that? Right. Maguire, 9.8 million. He's only got a year left on his contract. Okay, his current market value is 12.4 mil. Right. Diego Dallo, 33 million. We're paying him 17. His contract value is 17.7 million. Do you know like that? So in terms of Diego Dallo, like his book value as well is 0. So if we sell him, because there have been rumors that we would sell him, I think it's like 50 million. Yeah, or at least 40 million. That's all profit. Do you know like that? So he's going to be up for sale, or we'll definitely listen to offers for him. But I will get back onto this. I will get back onto this. I'm skipping ahead a bit. But yes, contract issues. Yeah. So you got contract negotiation problems and you got performance risk. Yeah. And this is the difference between the current market value and the contract value. This is how I've determined it. Right. This is what it shows me. So the 5 advantages of this 100k per week, 100k per week basic wage and the 100k win bonus, right? So, and also the appearance fee as well, yeah, for these players on contracts that exceed the proposed new contract, right? So it maintains earning potential for top players. So it would help retain key players, although to be fair, all of those players are up for sale, to be fair, or we should be listening to offers for, right? It creates additional upside through win bonuses. Okay, there's more performance linked. It's more performance linked than the current fixed salary. Yeah, and it basically demonstrates the viability of performance based pay. So we saw that with Maguire and we saw it with Anthony as well, where under this new proposal, their salary exceeded their existing one. Right. It also smooths the transition to the new structure. Okay, so it allows for a gradual cultural shift, right? Especially for the high earners. Okay, although like I said, we should be looking to let them go or sell them. And again, it could reduce resistance from key players with this appearance fee, right? Which would maintain the squad stability. Do you know that?